Hello and welcome back to the Cronecast at the Rising Moon. My name is Elaine, and on this channel, I do pick-a cards. I also do the Spirit Guide Monthly Live. That is what we have today. It's a little early this month because the last Friday of the month came earlier than usual. So we've got the July reading for July 2022. I have a couple of channel announcements. I have an announcement for people who've been in my collective and kind of wondering what your life's purpose is. I have a little bit of definition for you. And then I also have to ask you for your help with something, but it's just energetic help versus anything monetary. So we've got 4 piles and a pick a card as per usual. Take a moment, see which one calls out to you. That's your monthly message. And I will edit in timestamps after the broadcast. And then also what I will do is the light's going to go on, camera's going to go up. Also, what I will do is separately mark the intro with the message so that only people who are very interested in it, because not everyone's going to be in this collective of healers and psychics. Some people are just here to find out what's coming up in their lives. So let's get going here. Moving the piles out of the way, doing my housekeeping. I hope everybody had a delightful month. Did I hit the angle correctly? I think I might need to go up just one. I do. I have no head. That's not going to be helpful. Here we go. One more. There we go. All right. Interesting month. Lots and lots of messages from that particular monthly reading were actually very helpful for me. And there had been a message in pile 3, and that was very unusual. It did have to do with somebody kind of departing this particular existence. That did come true. It was for somebody that I knew. And in fact, it was not horrible. It was a relief. So here we go. So if anyone had seen that message and you've been kind of biting your nails going, was it for me? Was it for me? No, it was for somebody else. All right, here we go. Let's get going here. Okay, so a couple of things. Channel announcements. I really have made the decision that I'm going to concentrate mostly on healing tarot. I had been delaying starting some projects off of YouTube, trying to make sure that I had done everything on YouTube that I was supposed to. Over the course of time, I kind of realized that maybe this is not the platform I want to really, really grow on, simply because when people become more successful on this platform, they have a tendency to no longer do personal readings. And because of the type of tarot that I do, which is helping people heal from trauma, that's not the only type of tarot I do, but it's my primary focus. I always am going to have to do personal readings. And if you continue to do personal readings, unfortunately, there's a lot of negative attention that can come with more success. And I had been very reluctant to accept that as a message because I'm not used to not being able to accomplish what I set my mind to. But I had to learn various things, and I had to create readings in various categories to make sure I attracted everyone who needed to be in this collective. And that leads me to what the life's purpose message is. If you have been wondering what your life's purpose is, and you find yourself in this collective, and you have been consistently in this collective, and you might be joining me today for all I know, you're something called a crossroads guide. That is actually what I am. Throughout the course of our life, throughout our life's journey, we have crossroads in which we continue on a path of essentially spiritual evolution, or we don't. And when we take a different path, that kind of guarantees that we'll have another crossroads. And usually if we continue to choose the path that isn't going towards spiritual enlightenment, that means we will have deeper lessons to learn the next lifetime. It's not about bad karma. It is about fulfilling a life's purpose that kind of contains your spiritual evolution to enlightenment and hopefully eventually leaving this particular existence behind if that's what you crave. Most of the people who are in my collective who are tarot readers, who are healers, you don't have to be in the esoteric arts. For all you could be an electrical engineer and still be a crossroads guide. It is when you present people who come to you, you are an agent of fate in their lives. And that's what you've been called to. Many of you will have had very, very difficult experiences in your childhood because you're a type of healer that brings light to people who are tempted by darkness or trying to be claimed by darkness. And so when you came here helpless, you may have been bombarded with dark forces. It is part of the reason that many people in this collective had such traumatic beginnings. So that's one of your answers. And that leads me to what I need your help with. If I have provided you with any help over the last few years in healing if you have found any value here, I genuinely need you to concentrate your energy on something. Almost 8 years ago, someone, and by the way, I know you watch me and I do know who you are. I have your birthday, I have your picture. I've long known who you are. I just couldn't believe it because I had never done anything to you. We only met once a long, long time ago. It was literally an introduction. Many years later, I would help your partner leave your toxic and abusive relationship. You discovered I would do that before I did. You're a narcissistic abuser. I'm not afraid of you. I never will be. You cannot harm me. I never meant you any harm. And that is why your curses never reached me. But you've been trying and you've been trying and you've been trying. And last Saturday, this person tried again to kill me. Now, it has not worked. And in fact, it cannot work because, again, I was working in the service of that, of the greatest good, of the highest good of that particular individual, and it was not for selfish ends. This person is trying to hang on to that person for their selfish means. And the way that they thought they could accomplish that was by killing me. It has never worked. It had more impact when I was not practicing, when I was not living in my own purpose, but it can no longer reach me. With extraordinary amounts of effort and a team effort at that, they can cause me tremendous physical pain. And last Friday night, I believe, they did on Saturday morning. I think by killing an animal very slowly and very torturously. And I cannot imagine the type of soul that would do that. I am still not angry with you. And I know you are trying to provoke me to a response. I know that you are also the person who tormented my poor dog, Oscar, who is a tremendously pure soul. Everything I love is under my protection. Everything I love is now guarded against you. You cannot reach me. But the help I'm asking for from my collective, particularly if you're a practitioner, please help me with your energy. I have to bind this person because I know what their move is. Their next move is to act against the person I was trying to liberate. And when that information came through to me, because you were trying to psych me out and make me think you were going to go for my son, and you can't. You thought that was the thing that would make me finally break with my ethics, my morality, and my integrity and come back at you. And you've got a giant mirror spell, and you were trying to kill me with my own work because you know that's the only way it would work. But I don't do that type of work. I do not do baneful magic, and I do not do return to sender magic, which you thought that would also work. It will not work what you're trying to do. I know who you are. By the way, Tidra, your deck is amazing. It was the thing that finally made me go to the very good readers that I know to have it confirmed with two different people who know me very well and who are very, very good readers. One of them being Karen, the other one being Jacob, to make sure, hey, is so-and-so doing this to me? And they confirmed that yes, and you were doing it with multiple people. I'm going to have to shut you down, and I can. I'm giving you one last chance to walk into the light. I don't think you can. And it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt you. It's just going to take away your magic. And that's what I'm asking people in my collective to help me do. Please focus your energy, your attention, your magical intent. This person is working completely on the side of evil at this point. It took me so long to figure out what you were doing to Oscar. I thought he had cognitive problems. Sincerely, shame on you. That is an innocent, innocent soul. But it's not for me to judge you. And let me explain to people what happens if you choose complete darkness. When you die, you will become an earthbound spirit, and it will take a spiritual worker to lead you to the light again. But you will be consigned to this life as a non-corporeal person until such time as you make amends. So I'm giving you this one last chance. Back off, choose the light, go towards healing. There's hope for everybody. Having said that, people in my collective, please concentrate now on this energy. Lend me energy that you can. This person comes at me regularly, and it really did hurt a lot, but you know, I'm really robust. I'm pretty darn tough. I'm fine. I'm going to think their name right now and their birth date, and just focus on diminishing that person's power, binding them for all time so that they may never harm another innocent soul or anyone in any capacity. You have been misusing magic for far too long. You've gone completely to the dark side. And I do have the power to do this. And I wish you didn't make me do it because it's a very hard fate and you will never have magic again. I really, really, really would reconsider your choices, but I don't think you can because I think you're insane. Let's get down to what's going to happen in July. Pile number one, I will edit in timestamps after the description, after broadcast today. I'm sorry for that. I had known that this person kept trying. Their card was in my readings over and over again. I just wouldn't accept it because I was never trying to do something for my personal gain. And you can't accept that. All right, let's get going for pile number one. You're going to have the Tarot of the Night bring you a predictive spread. As usual, I have gone absolutely insane with oracle cards because that's what I do. We have Crown Portal, Divinity, Unity, Separation. This is excellent energy. It means that you're going to have a particularly good connection for your divine purpose, to divine source. Make sure you're balancing, make sure you're grounding, tap in as much as you can. We are in a time of transition. I'm sure everybody can feel that energy. I have really gifted psychics in this particular collective. I have people who've had to heal from a lot, and it used to kind of occlude your psychic eye. But as you heal your trauma, your powers become more and more focused, and you go more and more towards purpose. Then I have the Wall, obstacle. Literally divine obstacles are being placed in the way of someone who's trying. The reason that somebody can't curse me unto death is quite simply that I'm an agent of fate in other people's lives. That's why. We have life energy. The happy fairy of sunshine brings lots of life-giving energy. She reminds you to shine your light and to reveal anything in the shadows that needs to be healed. Guess pile number one's for me this time. We have fruition, harvest moon. Things are finally coming to an end. A difficult learning cycle has come to an end in your life. Life's energy, life's purpose, a connection to the divine, all obstacles being removed. Remember, chants to Ganesha are actually very good at the remover of obstacles, and you can hop around through belief systems. It is your intent and the purity of it that allows you to access like basically very positive energy. Set your intentions. I have focus. Apparently, this is all going to be some instruction on what y'all need to do. And why would you want to do that? Because in doing that, you start to drain evil from this world. All of the obstacles in your own lives will also be diminished. If you have felt blocked in your path throughout the course of about the last year, there's a reason. There's a dark force fighting back against light. This is the way to start taking it out. Everybody focuses on the same thing. With rendering the darkness impotent, with taking away its power, the misuse of magic, because intent is everything, and they have sought to harm the innocent. And that's where you went so far wrong. We've got the Angel's Answer card and the Cookie card, and that is, the premise behind that is that if there's a question you had throughout the course of this reading and I didn't answer it in this particular spread, hopefully the Angel Answers and the Cookie card will help give you a heads up. Then I have imagination. Remember, most people who are gifted at magic, they don't actually have to do spell work. Those are props to help focus your energy. You're capable of focusing your mind's energy, seeing things in your mind's eye, and bringing things to fruition. That is why choosing your emotional direction and making sure that you mood manage correctly is one of the things that will help with your manifestation. Now, of course, the law of attraction teaches us that that's what you do, but it skips a step in healing and releasing the darker energies, understanding the shadow self, because to have true magic, you have to be in balance. You have to be able to understand your own dark source and have control of it. You can never eradicate it, but you can take control of it. You can put it on a leash and you can use that power for good. I have networker, light attributes, enhances unity through sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. The shadow attributes are conveys information only for personal gain, spreads fear and falsehood. Again, everything contains its light and its dark aspect. Go towards the light and you will have a better and brighter and more loving, joyful experience. Embrace the idea that life is a gift and that you are here to improve it for yourself and for others. And the more you give to others, the more you will receive. I have shapeshifter. Light attributes, skill at navigating through difficult levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. The shadow attribute is projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. Quite obviously, this person is essentially the mirror opposite of me. They aren't a twin flame, they are an adversarial force. And that is everything that we're talking about here is what this collective does. You are able to bring people together. You are able to transmute energy. When you choose light source, you can change the energy of all those around you. But most of us are so badly injured that we have to heal first. And so that's what's been going on the last couple of years. And then I have unknown territory. You're exactly where you need to be. All right, and then I have no place like home and serendipity. Serendipity, of course, is fortuitous events happening in conjunction with fate. Let's get going. All right. And we, of course, will take other oracle cards because I'm a little bit of an oracle card girl. I love the tarot, but one of the reasons that I like oracles as well is it helps reveal the theme for each month, the theme for your healing, the theme for your life's purpose and for your path. And when you're living a purposeful life, you don't invest in the difficulties of the moment as much. You understand that pretty much everything comes to you for a reason. Now you do have, it's not the same thing as ignoring bad things. You can still say, what a crappy set of circumstances, what a rough day, could you maybe ease up? That was rough. It's not that you live in this blissful la 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 transcending everything, because realistically, we're a type of warrior. And my spirit guides are all warriors. And a lot of your spirit guides that have come in 2022 are also like kind of prime fighters. What do I have? I have allergies. Oh my gosh. Let's get going. Let's get going for pile number one. What do we have for July 2022? This ought to be interesting. And why was it go time on that? I just kind of don't know. Most of the time I'm just doing what I am asked. We got 1 and 2 and 3. I love this deck. By the way, the deck that I mentioned by Teacher Lang, that like really, like you did, that did me a tremendous service. Thank you so much. There is a link to it in the description box down below. I don't receive anything if you order it, but I highly recommend it for practitioners because there's a lot in there about magic. And it kept giving me the heads up. You have the King of Pentacles in the upright. That can be Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. It's good business. It's good health. Can be a doctor. I have it with the King of Swords in the upright. Lots of kings. Kings are things coming to fruition. Remember, as I'm always saying, gender is pretty much meaningless in tarot. Now, in romance read, obviously, it can tell you the gender of a partner or the gender identification of a partner. But remember, the pages get things started. The knights carry things forward. The queens are bringing something to fruition, and the kings have them land like bam. And then I have the Chariot in the upright. That is the card for the astrological sign Cancer. We are in Cancer season now. It is also being pulled in 2 different directions. It is one of the energies for crossroads guides as well. And it can be a card for war. I don't think it's going to be in this instance. It's also very good for business success. I have it with the 3 of Cups in the upright, which is a card of community, a card of celebration. That's in the recent past. You may have been finding it easier and easier to connect to other people. You may have been feeling lighter and lighter. As more and more people heal, the people you are connected to, because your true energetic family is everybody around here. If you've always felt like you didn't have one, you do. You have each other. You came from a different place and you had a different purpose. We have the Page of Cups in reverse, which can be an apology. It can be a surprise. It can also be a lack of emotional fulfillment, but it's coming out with the 2 of Pentacles in the upright, which is everything being brought into balance. It is also a state of, again, mastering your dark side so that you can utilize your light source. And when you really have done that, and it's why the law of attraction has that flaw, you have to have control of that, understand it, and you can't just pretend it's not there because it does things whether or not you're acknowledging it. I have that with the Justice card in reverse. So a card of balance and a card of injustice as the internal influence. I swear this just feels like my read right now. With the 10 of Wands in the upright, which is, it can be something being blocked. It can be something being overburdened. This is the external influence, so it's not your internal influence. I have the Page of Pentacles in the upright. It almost feels like something's been thwarting your journey. It has. There's a lot of force in this world that does not want you to come to your life's purpose, because your life's purpose is important. I have the World in reverse, start of a new cycle. Listen, there's a couple of cards here that suggest that, you know, there are a lot of things going on, particularly in the United States, but it's not just within the United States. It is a time of shifting and transition. And it comes out with the Queen of Swords in reverse, somebody who can't be appeased. Also the card that haunted me until I had to recognize who was behind it. Queen of Cups in the upright. 7 of Pentacles in reverse, failure. This is good. Ace of Wands in reverse, literally a block spell. I have the Fool in the upright, starting again. It is also leaving the past behind. It is also a leap of faith. It is also embracing joy and interest and intrigue. No matter what your life has been up to this point, remember, you can simply start again. You can believe in yourself. You can believe that there is a divine power, that you can believe that you have a purpose. And it all really, even if your life up to this point has not led you to believe that, it can still come to you if you will allow it. When you reach for light source, it reach back. And part of the reason dark magic can't reach me is that I don't go towards dark source at all. So I don't do any baneful magic. If you have purity of intent, it's very hard for people to hurt you. I have the Star in the upright. I have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. I have these 4 swords in the upright. Now something's being put to rest. I have the 5 Pentacles in reverse. I have the, look at you, 8 of Pentacles in reverse. I'll take one more on that. And then I kind of knew this was going to be it. 10 of Swords in reverse. Literally, we are a little bit talking about what I was leading with at the top of this. And that's something that I need to mention as well. When we join together as a collective to defeat something, many of you may feel like you have been crossed by someone as well, because I'm not the only one they're coming for. So if we all join our energy together, they cannot withstand us all. All right, let's get going on what's coming up in this month. A lot of mastery of difficult situations, a lot of enlightenment around why things were happening. For some people, I've got the beginning of a new job. For others, I have creative offers coming to you, like a little bit out of the blue with that surprise energy. The 10 of Wands is the need to, no matter how much we envision what we want, sometimes there's a different plan for us. And when we stop fighting it, it comes to us much more easily. So this is the idea to kind of take into your mind. And please don't fight against it, because it's not a bad thing. What if you're wrong? What if you've been wrong up until this point about what would make you happy? If you ask for your light source, for your connection to the divine, and if all you believe in is your connection to your highest source, that is equally valid. We all have different answers. We all have a different relationship to a collective and to a divine. If you release the idea that you know best, that is called death of the ego, ego death. And instead ask, well, what is meant for me? Bring me what is meant for me, and I will comply. I will collaborate with the divine. You are working in conjunction with the universe. If you stop fighting the flow will carry you forward. That's one of the energies of the Chariot. I like that love will overcome essentially bitterness if you allow it to. Particularly for people who are trying to heal. Embracing healing will increase your gifts. I have a lot of dreams coming true energy here. I have a lot of pain from the past being put to rest. But I do have some energies of like needing to weather something. And I don't have a Tower. I don't have the 3 of Swords. I don't have anything scary here. I don't even have conflict cards. And remember, this is going to be the Earth group. And it doesn't mean that you're an Earth sign. It means that's the ruling element in your particular energy. And I can tell you what, too, sometimes you can come back and watch and get drawn to a different pile, and it will give you information for that week. We all have a different ruling element at different times of our lives. In the Earth element, there's a lot of things being grounded out and put to rest. I like the security of the King of Pentacles that's available there. If you've been looking to make a change in your work environment, change is trying to come to you. That's that serendipity card. Life energy and focus with imagination and divine portal, and then obstacles. Try to connect to the divine as you're meditating, asking for the obstacles in your path to be removed. And instead of doing the normal manifestation work where you envision what you want, instead ask what is meant for me. Bring me what is meant for me. Bring me what is meant for me. It can free up a lot of things. Let's get going with the energy cards as well. Oh, it's really hot in here. So the other thing is that of course I'm sweating very elegantly and in delicate fashion, I'm sure. There we go. Let's get going for pile number 1 with the energy cards. Hi guys, remember I'm blind. I can't see the chat. I always take off my glasses because I read better if I can't see the camera as well. It doesn't work that way with clients. but it actually is the tiniest bit intimidating to be like anybody in the world could see this, because I'm an extreme introvert. And so I just found that I was reading better without my glasses, and the ring glow, which I think I finally got the light setting set so that I don't look like I'm a Casper, the friendly reader over here. 1 and 2 and 3. What do we have for pile number 1? I love that. You're exactly where you need to be. Okay, Angel of Love, Storm Warning, Magician in the Mirror. 3rd chakra, Archangel Chamuel, World. The world is about success and completion, new things coming to you. Reaching out towards the concept that even if you don't understand the journey right now, even if you've had a difficult path, if you reach out to the idea that the divine is there and cares and is trying to help, and your guides are trying to help, stop fighting and trying to make the picture that you think is perfect for you, and things will come to you more easily. And that has nothing to do with you won't get what you want. But we can focus and fixate, particularly like I have a terrible relationship history. Quite frankly, I've had terrible taste in men my whole life. If we focus too much on what we think we want, we can slow down our progress. So concentrate on asking for what is meant for you. You're all very powerful people. You're all very powerful people. When you do that, your power will increase, your progress will increase, your success will increase. Try to work with divine power, with your divine self, and with the collective energy. Most of the people in this collective, in fact, if you don't believe this, and you're probably not in this collective, really believe that if we work together, we can simply make the world a better place. And it has nothing to do with politics. As I'm always saying, those who seek power are seldom fit to hold it. Most of the people in my collective don't actually want power, they just want happiness. But they do believe in that which is right and trying to help others. Here we go, and that's why you're healers. Let's go. 1. And healers don't necessarily have to work as healers. Sincerely, you could be a banker and a healer if you bring integrity and kindness and a belief in trying to treat others as being equal to you. To every situation, that's a form of healing that transmutes energy. Let's go with the enchanted map. And we're gonna get some, oh, look at that. Heal the Ouch is on the top there. Then I have Peaks of Joy. When you are healed, joy comes easily and stays. We will have negative emotions even when we're healed, because we're meant to live in this state of balance. And in fact, we kind of need those negative emotions to kind of accentuate the joy. And then I have Rescue, Field of Dreams, and Movement. These are beautiful cards. These are beautiful cards. Group number 1, the path is opening to you after a long period of you were struggling against something. With that 10 of Wands, you were trying to press too hard on, I'm trying to make my vision happen. And I just ask you to accept that maybe you've had sometimes extraordinary challenges because you're an extraordinary person. And there is something for you if you will allow it to be brought to you. Now, we can all fight our fate. When I was talking about being crossroad guides, people can choose. And I have lost people in terms of I tried to help people choose what seemed like the right path for them. And I was guided to tell them was the right path for them, but they couldn't take it yet. And I always say yet because there's always hope. Like even for that person, I'm asking everybody to concentrate your mighty healing power on to take away that darkness. There's hope that she can still turn and choose that which is right. Will she? Seems doubtful, but I'm hopeful because hope is actually the most healing thing in the world. And you do have the Star card. And for people who've been traumatized, hope feels like a risk. It feels like, no, I'm just setting myself up to be punched in the nose again by the divine. The divine is never doing that. When things don't work out that badly, is usually because we're in the wrong set of circumstances. And we try to make the wrong set of circumstances the right one far too often. And it's not about being inert. Your efforts still matter. And again, using myself as an example, I was like practically killing myself with those astrology reads. And it wasn't my focus in tarot. I don't have anything against romance. I don't have anything against business. They're both wonderful. I focus on helping people heal so that they can become their most powerful self. It really is about accessing your inner magic. Healing is about accessing your greatest power. When you are healed, you are mighty. Here we go. Let's get going with the affirmations deck, which is a reminder that self-talk, that angel of love, is one of the most important tools and the most potent tool that you have. When you're trying to heal, begin talking to yourself as if you are your biggest cheerleader. And it's not saying everything you did is good. We have to take accountability for the things that we need to improve to become our highest self. But it does mean that we don't get caught in a dark energy or a spiral of self-criticism when we're willing to say, you did really good with that. Even if you were afraid, talk to yourself in use statements, because most of us didn't hear them as children. And so that's part of the foundation, part of the pillar of self-esteem that most of the people in this healing collective are missing. I have mutual love. Love is seeking me just as I am seeking it. Just as my love swoons and bursts into wondrous colors and lights, the love that is seeking me is also infinite. The love that I put out into the world will circle back to me. All that you do will come back to you. If you focus outward instead of inward, why don't I have what I want? And it's not that you don't matter. You matter so much that this is the clue the divine is trying to give you. Take all that you wish to do and focus outward. What am I meant to do with who I am? What good things can I do in all areas of life? And when you do that, more and more love comes to you, and it will take different forms. Sometimes it will be admiration. Sometimes it will be gratitude. Sometimes it will be friendship. Sometimes it will be romantic love. And you kind of get to determine what form of love you want the most. But you have to have such a balance that frequently, if you're very hyper-focused on romance, what will come to you is all the other forms of love to give you balance so that then your romantic love can come in. Soulmates. Soulmates do not simply exist. They are created through hard work, determination, and love. I find great comfort in this. I am not a statistic, but a garden that blooms and grows with another. I allow the universe to open my heart to this exciting future. What are soulmates? They're not just a romantic concept. They are part of your collective. Soulmates come into, we share energy. We are meant to share each other's path, but also the whole, it is created through hard work, determination, and love. You will meet your truest divine pairing when you have done the work that you need to be the most loving version of yourself, and that is for yourself and for others. When you love yourself, when you truly love yourself and accept yourself, even if you have things that you're working on, I'll be working on things for the rest of my life. So will everybody else. Accept and love yourself. And when you do, then more and more love comes to you, including the type of love that you want, that will complete you in the way. It won't feel the same way as when you're in that desperate kind of need. Oh my God, I just need a person. If I had a person, I'd be happy. If I just had this relationship, I'd be happy. You will find happiness when you love yourself. And when you are happy and loving towards self, more and more comes to you. And that's what you have to love yourself means first means. We use these little catchphrases, we don't go in depth on them, and they can be confusing and a little baffling for people who are struggling with pain. I've energized. Each and every morning I wake up with vitality, ready to live my life to the fullest. This energy is becoming of me, and I notice how beneficial it is to my present moment. When tired, I will simply rest, then keep moving forward. Please make sure to balance your chakras. People with a lot of power have a lot of need to balance regularly. I do it every day now. Oh, and by the way, to protect yourself from evil forces, there are all kinds of things that you can do, particularly spiritual showers with sea salt that you have blessed to ask to be protected. You can say things like Psalm 91. You can use smudge sprays. You can use sage. Always follow up with something like incense or Palo Santo to make sure that you have divine energy available to you. That was beautiful. What a good month is coming up. Go towards your healing and everything comes to you. Not immediately. Have patience with the journey. Learning patience. Patience is peace. Patience is power. And why is that? Because there's no struggle in having patience. That's why it's the key to power. When we're struggling against fate, when we're struggling against our true nature, our authentic self, that causes things to slow down. When we embrace our true self, when we stop struggling as much and are patient, knowing that everything comes to us when it is meant to, then we have true power, we have true peace, we have true happiness, we have true everything. Let's get going here. This is the Andorra deck. 1 and 2 and 3. I'm sure I'm going to be glowing like I'm a light bulb soon because, oh my goodness, it's warm today. 1 and 2 and 3. Okay. I can never pronounce this word, caduceus, I guess. You will receive news from afar. It's the medical symbol. If anybody knows how to pronounce it, please instruct me. There we go. The minstrel, let your intentions be known. And then I have, the satyr, revelry and indulgence. Well, your energy, group number 1, is just absolutely fabulous. You're heading into a month where if you will lean into your journey, if you will lean into acceptance of, I'm here for a purpose, there is something trying to guide me. There is something that is on my side at every turn. If you will accept that into your heart, even if things have not worked out before. And not everything is about our struggle. As I said at the very beginning of this, the more powerful you are, the more likely you are to have landed in difficult circumstances. And there are multiple reasons for that, and I've gone into them over and over again. But one of them is so that you can experience what an abuse of power is like, so that you don't perpetrate it against others. And that is a big reason why I don't do baneful magic. I had a hideously abusive childhood, as I've gone into before. I'm actually fine. The past could go away. I learned a lot from that. It was difficult while it was happening, but I recovered. But that is why I know too much what it is like to be powerless in the face of people who could show mercy and compassion and kindness, but instead showed indifference and cruelty and unkindness and took their pain out on other people, which is what most abuse is. Freedom. Apparently, you can't sell today's paper after yesterday's news. Again, this is Tidra's deck that allowed me to extend some protection because it kept reminding me of something that I didn't want to believe was true, because I don't really hold grudges against people. Tidra, thank you again. I have Empress status. Apparently, you'll be living in the high cotton. This energy could not be better. Oh my gosh, group number 1. Everything is trying to enter your life and stay in your life, and good for you. You deserve it. Here we go. Let's get going for group number 1 with their Infinity Oracle. We got a fortune card. We're gonna get some. We'll get some messages of love, and we'll get some wellness cards. Then we're gonna get a romance angel. Then we're gonna finish this out with angel answers and cookie cards. 1 and 2. And 3. I'm sweating buckets. Here we go. Okay, we have take a risk, new perspective. As I said in the beginning of this read, take a risk. What if you're wrong? What if everything you've been trying to force isn't the right path for you? Open up to the possibility. Take the perspective that maybe they've been trying to help me all along. If you've been so mad at your spirit guides, how could you? How could you deny me this? How could you deny me that? You're not even on my side. You suck. Do your job. If that's been your perspective because you fight and you fight and you fight and you try and you try and you try and nothing has worked out, maybe it's because the things you've been fighting for weren't for you. And I really am a prime example of that, because I thought I was supposed to make this YouTube channel work out. And recently I've been having more and more evidence that it's like, that is not actually something I think I would like. It would really make me feel violated as such an incredible introvert and very, almost reclusive sort of person. And instead, there's something else I need to do that has to do with healing. Abundance is near. All right, happy, lucky, healed, group number 1, Empress status, freedom. Everything can work out in a beautiful fashion when we're willing to surrender. And surrender is hard for people who had to fight and fight and fight just to keep their head above water. And surrender, it does not mean that everything is instantly better. It just means that things will flow to you far more easily, and you'll be carried forward. And when things don't go well, you look for the lesson in it rather than feeling afflicted. And it just improves absolutely everything. We have 1 and 2 and 3. I'm laughing because it's not that hot in here, but like I said, holy moly, I'm warm. Death, a time of natural transition and transformation. We're wringing out my hair by the end of this. Here we go. 1, remember, death does not mean death. Death means rebirth. Even physical death is not really death. Ooh, chariot, charge ahead with confidence, stay strong and focus. So group number 1, the basic message of all of this is if you are willing to focus, if you are willing to accept that if I concentrate my power not on what I want, but on opening to a divine source to tell me where am I supposed to go, Everything comes. It's hard for people, and that doesn't mean that you can't ever do magic or anything else to try and make some things that you want happen. Not everything is this great big fateful thing. If there's like a designer purse you want or a great car that you want, and that's what you want to try and manifest, that's not the same thing as trying to, usually the stuff that we get blocked on is trying to force an emotional relationship. That's usually the stuff, because that stuff's supposed to come to us when we're like energy attracts like energy. We have unavailable. This person is unable to give you all you deserve. Chemistry. The attraction you feel is mutual. Interference. An external party is intruding on this relationship. Mastery. You've learned lesson. Here and now, your true love is already part of your life. Regret. Someone feels remorse for the way they treated you. Well, you've got something in that. You've got the apology card up there as well. That's one of the meanings of the Page of Cups in reverse. Let's keep going. Remember, we have all made mistakes. This is a great month, though. Am I not talking about like, hey, there's a conflict at work? That none of that stuff is there. It's all about personal empowerment this time. This is an expansion time for you. And not in an uncomfortable, oh my goodness, it's a tower way, but rather it's like, did I just grow 2 inches type of way? We got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Oh, love, unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, attraction, affection. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's it's really good energy on this. There's just a really, really good energy on this. Hand of cards, take a risk, being strategic, options, not showing hand in gambling, camera, reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learn from the past and make memories, separation, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of the future, acts, breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment and abandonment. I know what this is talking about. There is a very negative energy that has been trying to claim you as well. Maybe that's why I got told over and over again, like all week long, I was like, speak your truth was coming out of that deck. And like, as I'm doing my daily draws, I'm like, I don't know if I really want to go into this with everybody, but I was told very directly to. And you might also feel like you have an adversarial force. All of this is saying that it can be taken out of your path if you join together, concentrating not on any type of revenge, not on any type of, this is my idea of justice, but rather of draining away the power of darkness. Whoever it is that has been harming you as well, as we join together as a collective, think of them. And remember, it's not going to be about punishing them. It's going to be about taking away the power they have to hurt you and to hurt others. Because that is truly just, because it is a misuse of magic to try and harm others with it. And I know not everybody believes that, but that's where my power comes from. I practice celestial and angelic magic. And if you're attracted to me as a reader, it's the magic of miracles. It's not meant to be used for dark purposes. Finances and career. And then I have engagement. So finances and career, financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. And then engagement, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment, ascending. Join with the divine. And again, absolutely everything will come to you. All right, group number 1, let's check your angel answers. We have big happy changes. Whoa, baby. Perseverance. You've persevered. You have come through a long battle, a long time. For everybody who has faced all of the challenges, because we are challenged, that is part of what allows us to have more power, is continuing to go towards something even when it hasn't been easy. That perseverance energy, it's not just about throwing obstacles in your way to teach you. It is because you will become more and more powerful as you continue to persist, because it involves belief and connection. It involves going towards that which is light and hopeful and bright. And it makes you more and more powerful. And will it make you invincible? Absolutely nothing makes anyone invincible. But it will make you powerful enough that you won't think of power in that way. You'll think of power as something that is to be shared to accomplish all that you hope to see in the world versus all of your own personal needs. All right, let's get going for pile number 2. At the top of this, I'm going to say if you are joining me after the broadcast, please circle back to the message at the beginning of the reading. If you are not called to do so, then apparently the message will not be for you. But if you have any yen to, if you're like, yeah, no, I want the magical message, go back and get it. It tells you something about your purpose in this world, and it also tells you something about this collective, and it also contains a request for me as I try and put down some evil that again tried to attack my dog. That was the one that almost really made me angry. All right, here we go. The High Priestess of Water. That's interesting. It's a Queen of Cups type of energy. It's also the Archangel Raphael. In the elements, there is an archangel attached to each element. Raphael is water. It is the energy of love. It is the flow of love as well. It's nurturing as well. Be of service. Be of service means that when you open your heart to give to others, you will have more love come to you because you are trying to give love to others. I have grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. This is actually very true. And grieving, that is one of the energies that we have to kind of process and release. And it's a very difficult journey, and we all have a tendency to repress it. And sometimes we get stuck in it. Remember, nothing is ever truly gone. It's absent for a while. And anything that you believe you've lost, anyone that you have lost within this lifetime, whether to death or to circumstance, you will meet them again in a different capacity. And remember that no one ever truly leaves our journey if they're meant to be on it with us. I have child eternal, determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. The shadow attribute is inability to grow up and be responsible, extreme dependency on others for physical security. That is a codependency type of energy. But in its light attribute, remember, aging is an energy. It is not a number. Don't focus on your age. Focus on your energy, for your enthusiasm, for your journey, for your life, for your path. And you will feel younger. And when you feel younger, you will look younger. You will feel better. And you will also stop assigning your value to a societal standard that is incredibly cruel, particularly to women. And mediator, light attributes, gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in professional and personal life, respect for both sides of an argument, always trying to see the perspective of another person, even if they have harmed you. Usually they're coming from their own set of circumstances. Shadow attribute is negotiating with an ulterior motive or hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. I want to look at this with the grief thing. We'll find out. Breaking trail, a breakthrough is at hand. I have yin, which is the feminine energy, perfectly matching the High Priestess of Water. And then I have to be fair. Whoa, that's almost creepy. That perfectly matches the mediator. You may be asked to be kind and forgiving towards someone. I have harmonic resolution, negativity, anger, and transmutation. Everything does contain its opposite. We're all very gifted at transmuting energy. If you will allow yourself to release, remember, anger is protective. Anger is usually protecting fear. We get angry when there's pain or there's fear at the source of something. If we can release the anger, recognize it, what am I really angry about, and not react to it, then you're far more likely to find the loving energy of the High Priestess of Water and the energy of Yin. I have stars in the sky, limitless possibility. I also have purity. Always trust in the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart, and within it, you will find the answer to your question. If you have good intentions, if you try and have good intentions in this world, it does come back to you. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on the and that sounds ridiculous. When somebody's in agony, it's like, don't focus on the pain. It's like, have you ever been in pain? Yes, devastating amounts of it. And if I kept telling myself this is only temporary, it became easier for it to be so. Focus on what you can find in your life that gives you some form of joy. Even if you're hurting right now, find the one thing or the two things or the five things, five being the energy of change, that gives you a little sense of appreciation. For instance, my son gave me this many years ago, and it ended up being something that I developed, kind of a little aesthetic around that I really personally enjoy. And it's very beautiful to me. And when you start focusing on the things that you love, your heart heals more easily too. I have resistance with the waning moon. And remember, angel answers card and the cookie card. Resistance, resistance, resistance. When you're being asked to release your anger, when you're being asked to release your pain, there's nothing to do with saying what hurt you doesn't matter and your injury doesn't matter and you somehow deserved it. Instead, it is saying you matter so very, very much that you deserve to not be in pain. And that's what it is. Don't resist feeling better because you want it to be acknowledged that by a divine source, with usually being rewarded with what we want, that what you went through mattered. Everything you go through matters. If you look for the lesson in it and how you can find more and more personal power and greater understanding of self, you can overcome everything and even the people who laid you low, because you will simply view them differently with that two to be fair energy and the mediator energy and the high priestess of water. And sometimes we're not ready to do that. And when we're not ready to forgive, all you have to do is give it over to the divine. If you're not ready, that's okay. Keep focusing on healing. And there can be a lot of like scolding in healing communities around how you have to forgive, you have to forgive, you have to forgive. Forgive in the time that you were meant to. And if you find yourself unable to, because some people have had hideous crimes perpetrated against them, if you're unable to, then simply put that aside and say, I'm giving myself permission not to forgive right now. I'm going to focus on feeling better because I simply deserve not to be in this pain. And believe that the divine believes that, even if you've had hard things happen. Let's get going here. It's the Angels Tarot. Oh, this is one, the company sent it to me. I also don't receive anything. If you order it, I actually really like it, but they have a 20% off coupon that they gave me. And that's in the description box down below. So you can also use that. We have the World in the Upright. I like that. That's completed cycles, usually successful ones. That's the breakthrough is at hand. The grief energy, that's hard. I haven't identified what that's going to be about yet. The 10 of Pentacles in the Upright, it's a secure energy. Now, like it used to stand in for lockdown during the COVID times. I don't think it's about that. It's a life partner energy. It's a wonderful security energy as well. The 5 of Pentacles in reverse, good. An easing of difficult circumstances is the foundational card. We have clarity in the short term. If you can take the perspective that life is not something that is being done to you, but rather life is something that you're being asked to learn from, it helps so much. And that's one of the clarity energies. 7 of Swords in reverse. We've got 2 sevens in reverse, but that is also surrender, is picking your battles. 3 of Cups in the Upright. That's a reunion energy. That is friendship. That is joining together. It's also celebrations. And the Ace of Cups in the Upright, which is personal fulfillment and happiness, your cup flowing over, experiencing more and more love. The Hermit in reverse, coming out of a healing cycle and going forward. The Hermit in Tarot is actually the Fool. After he has gone through the major arcana, learned many things, he withdraws into self to process the lessons that he has learned. When you get the Hermit in reverse, you're coming out of that processing stage. I have the King of Cups in reverse. It's one of my cards for a narcissist, but it can be a lack of emotional fulfillment. 9 of Swords in the Upright. That can be a very active dream world, as well as like, the need to weep, to grieve. Let yourself process your negative emotions so that you can be rid of them. Understand that your guides can help you with that as well. Ask for assistance in healing. When you meditate, just ask for assistance, and it will not be instantaneous. The deeper the wound, the longer the process. I spent I guess 2 years spending 3 or 4 hours at night crying and experiencing extreme chest pain because it turns out heartbreak's really, really hurtful. And I just kept telling myself it wouldn't last forever. And at some points it was almost comical. It won't last forever. But I'm not laughing at the idea of people being in pain. I'm laughing at myself because I was speaking out loud. And at the time it was even slightly absurd because it felt like it was going to. We have the 3 of Pentacles in the Upright, which is collaboration, working with others, creativity, coming together. Lots of 3s. 6 of Cups in the Upright. That is kindness, generosity, past relationships. It's my favorite soulmate card because it's unconditional love. I have the 2 of Cups in the Upright. I have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, and I have the Star card in the Upright. I like all of this. The 7 of Pentacles in reverse can be a form of failure, or it can be the need to step back and allow things to flow. When I get it with the Two of Cups like that and the Star in the upright, I'm really seeing it in a very positive sense with the Hermit in reverse as well, because the Hermit in reverse is emerging from a cave and going back towards life. Four Wands in the upright. I have the Three of Swords in the upright, which I'm not digging as much, with the Five of Swords in the upright. A little bit of world weirdness. This is your internal influence. This qualifies it. This is your external influence. This qualifies it. Technically, this set will qualify the hopes and fears. Wheel of Fortune in reverse, Judgment in the upright. That's the card of the Archangel Gabriel, bringer of epiphanies and truth. Four Swords in reverse. Okay, there appears to be some challenge. I don't think this is COVID again. I just don't. It's possible that there's a challenge to somebody's health that you care about. And the grief energy, I don't think is profound. It is rather allowing yourself to remember, even on a spiritual journey, you're not supposed to reject the idea of negative emotions. You can find the lesson in them. And when we find the lesson, when we allow ourselves to grieve, we release it. And when we've stopped grieving, we can love more fully and completely. Somebody in your life, like there's something going on with them, but here's the thing. I don't think you're super duper fond of them. Just a sense that I have. Yep. There's good things and there's bad things here. There's communication from afar. Let's get this going here. There's a lot of opportunity to experiencing a full range of emotions around the past and experience more happiness and love in the future. And there's definitely something around security here as well. Your security. Somebody else is having a hard time. And I just don't get the sense, because that's the Narcissist card in reverse. I just don't get the sense that you're necessarily going to be bummed about it. I don't think you're celebrating it either. There's a freedom from old energy around this. In terms of like money's looking good, work's looking good. The opportunity to get together with friends and connect with others, which I think you're doing better with. That is part of a healing journey. When you're ready to start connecting with people again, when you're starting to approach life as a fun journey. Limitless possibility, to be fair, a breakthrough is at hand. It's like you're being, I almost want to say born. I have crossroads. What was I saying with crossroads, guys? Vivid dreams. Told you, weird dream life. Stuck. New love. Good for you. Signs from nature. Manifest, and then inner healing. New love is not just about a romantic interest. New love is about when you're healed, it starts to become easy to just kind of love the concept of what's going to happen today. What's going to, even if like things become interesting again. When you're healing, life almost feels like a burden sometimes. Like, how am I going to get through this? Oh my gosh. When you're healed, you're more likely to be like, okay, that was a challenge, but you believe in your ability to get through it. You genuinely do. I had a funny thing happening at my office, and it's hilarious because like just a few minutes ago it was so warm in here. I was like, well, now it's just apparently my week to sweat or something. My air conditioning broke in my professional office, and I was reading in like an 86-degree room that had no airflow. And one of my clients, like she was so into it, she didn't even notice. But when she was finally reading, she's like, oh my gosh, it really is warm in here. But I just can't even believe that I was like, okay, I have to, through all manner of strange circumstances, keep it together and focus. And life will do that to us. There's something around that as well, is asking you to examine some difficulties and obstacles that you likely encountered in June, to look for the ways in which you handle things so much better than you used to. We have sucker free. That is apparently, okay. You're going to be able to have discernment at a level that you didn't in the past. You may have been the type of person who is easy to take advantage of in the past, and you no longer are, and you need to start trusting that more about yourself. Tribe members. One of the true kin shall reach you in a month of Sundays. Somebody coming in, more connection, like a past life relationship, could be a friendship. There's a medical thing around that as well. And the conflict card, there has been a conflict energy in the overall world. We've got the world card there. I do not think it's a world war. I really don't. There's no catastrophe here. There's conflict energy, but there's no cataclysmic energy. And so remember, focus on what you can impact. Don't spend your energy on what you can't, meaning that you live in the world that you are focusing on. And it's not the same thing as burying your head in sand as like Rome burns or something. Rome's not burning. It's just that there's a need for some things to change, and they will be, and participate in making things better in the ways that you can in your daily life for yourself and for others, and you will get through everything. There is some grief energy though. And I don't have it like, pardon me, I don't have it as like an energy that you have to be particularly concerned about. It's almost like allowing yourself to step into that last stage of grief, which is healing. I am lovable and worthy of love. I set my intentions to open my heart, accepting all love and compassion that comes my way. I will find my people, the people who love and accept me for who I am, for I know I only need to discover them. Even if you have had unsatisfying relationships and friendships in the past, as you have healed, the people that you welcome into your life, you'll have better standards for your own treatment. So the people trying to plug into you like an outlet, you will see them to the door far more quickly. And remember, viewing yourself as lovable is half of receiving the love that you need. It genuinely is. Understand that if somebody has not treated you properly, then they need to either make amends, or you need to recognize that person is not good enough for me. I deserve better than that because I love me. And I don't have any of that. I don't have you releasing somebody that you've been trying to love. But I have you, like I said, almost letting go of a past pain, understanding that I've learned what I need to from it, and I can put that burden down and walk away from it, the hermit coming out of his cave. My success, I define my own success in life. Some people want money, others want happiness. My definition of success is what I intentionally choose. I will roll up my sleeves and ponder what success means to me, then work hard to reach those goals. We have a ridiculously bad idea of what being successful is because we think it's money and we think it's stuff. And it doesn't keep you happy for long because you get used to your stuff. And after a while, when you're accumulating money in a bank, it is just an ever climbing number. And it's a very empty thing. It's not that there's anything wrong with wanting to be very comfortable or liking luxury or liking things. It's just add to that. What is making you feel like you are contributing to a world and that you are receiving back from it? When we buy things, let's face it, I told my son many years ago when we had to move from a house that like I really, really liked. And it's a long story, but he's like, but you love that house. And I was like, don't love houses. They cannot love you back. And keep that in mind. Love what can give in return. And money can't do that. And stuff can't do that. Judge your success by how happy, purposeful, and fulfilled I am. And sometimes that will bring money. And sometimes that won't. But when you view success as an energy you're inhabiting that encompasses true happiness rather than lots of stuff, you will feel so much better. All right, let's get going here as well with the Endura cards. I've been really enjoying this deck as well. All right, 1 and 2, and I didn't mention it, but Tidro's deck is the apparently so deck. If you order it, I don't receive anything. I keep plugging it because it helped me so much in a very difficult situation. There's a stalker card in there and a jealousy card and a couple of other ones that I kept getting, and I'm like, what? And it finally made me look into something that I needed to. I have the moon. You will be guided through darkness. And then I have the maiden. A new relationship blossoms. Let's take one more. That would make sense with this 2 of Cups energy and the star energy. I have the minstrel. Let your intentions be known as well. Again, if you have good intentions, if you try to go towards expressing your love in this world rather than finding what you can take from this world, you will feel so much happier just in drawing every breath. The way we view success is how it is defined by a society that is very, 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 oh my God, troubled. Let's face it. If you can view success as I am living a life that makes me feel as if I have resonant connection to the divine. And that is a very purposeful energy. When you are successful, as your soul will simply feel successful. And who cares what anybody else thinks of it? Please don't care what other people think. You can't control it. Control what you think of you. Have regret. Someone feels remorse for the way they treated you. Intuition. You already know the answer you seek. Warning, don't dismiss red flags here. Healing. Old wounds and childhood issues need revisiting and support. Lean on your inner circle during this time. One of the hardest things in the last stages of codependency recovery, and why am I always like blah, 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 codependency? Traumatized people have a tendency to be codependent. It comes in different and varying degrees. And it's because you didn't receive the love you deserved as a child. And so you look to it for it in external circumstances rather than internal ones. When you start looking for it within and with your highest self, then quite simply, you're just it's so easy to be happy. It's not a challenge any longer. Take one look at that. You'll be guided through darkness, relationships, and then don't ignore red flags. Codependency is something that you will be tested on to make sure that you're basically graduating things. You may have an opportunity, and you'll backslide sometimes, and that's when you're like, hey, I have to like review my checklist on how to make sure I'm living in an independent energy. Trying to make sure you're not behaving compulsively, trying to make sure that you are not, because people who have post-traumatic stress disorder, particularly complex post-traumatic stress disorder, seek safety in patterns. And they're not safe. Usually they've caused more problems than they've solved. It just gives that feeling of routine, makes you feel like you have control. Release the idea that you need to be in control to be safe. All you need to be safe is to believe in yourself. Let's get this up and we're gonna keep going. We're gonna get some energy cards. This is a really good month. There is an emotional challenge in which you may have to, like I said, it's releasing the last stage of something. It's like, it's not, I don't like the phrase releasing a former version of yourself because you never really do. That person got you to where you are now. That's a very important part of who you are. But really it's more about understanding and allowing that part of you to be something that you evolve past. It's not about death. It's about taking the parts of you from your former self that you value in a productive, this serves me fashion, and allowing the trauma that caused you to have some dysfunction to fall away. And that's really the energy that I have around that Three of Swords and that Five of Swords. Five of Swords is a little bit of an external world conflict thing. It's not cataclysmic. But please remember, if you are an empathic person, if you're highly intuitive, do not focus on the bad. Focus on, listen, everything might turn out just fine. I will make the difference in the world that I'm allowed to make. And I will trust that my path will be revealed to me. I'm a big believer in trying to lean into, even if everything around you has been blown up and catching fire and falling off cliffs, if you're still standing there safely, don't look at everybody else. Don't look at the rest of the world to be like, how can there be a divine presence? There is hunger, there is war, there is pestilence, there is blah. Look at your connection to the divine as a personal thing. What has your life been like? Even through difficult circumstances, have you survived? Have you been given opportunity to be guided? Your relationship to the divine and the idea of guidance is personal and individual and unique. And if the rest of the world appears to be on fire, look at your world instead and know that you can change the world around you. And when you start changing the world around you, your personal world, you're able to transmute energy. It carries forward. It makes a difference. If you want to make a difference in this world, make a difference in your world, in the way you treat others, in the way you interact. Community, woo! Appreciation, strategy. Well, that was all that. Fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael. You have Raphael's energy over there as well. All tied up, woman holding a heart, and angel of love. Oh, Man holding a coin. That like leapt into my lap like it was, if I didn't take it, it was going to follow me home. There's a blockage on something, and it may be something you've been desiring. Don't jump the gun on something. Let something take the path it needs to. Let something take the path it needs to. Even if it's something you've been greatly hoping for, this might be a great big test on your ability to be patient. These are very interesting cards this month. Let's get going with the enchanted map. Like, they're not going to tell me what your test is. We don't get told what our tests are beforehand. That's why you can get a reading and be like, wow, everything looks beautiful. Everything looks wonderful. And then you go home and it's like the transmission fell out of my car on the way back. It's because you're being challenged with how will you accept and adapt and face your obstacles. Because that is actually how we continue to evolve, is when we understand that nobody gets a perfect life, literally nobody. And if you think you know somebody who does their charmed life, they're not evolving in the way that you think they are. And then everybody has personal pain that they may not be expressing. And we live in a society that just prizes the goofiest things. I've dropped a card and I may never see it again. Here we go. Come here. My goodness. Heal the ouch yet again. Big healing month. Big healing month. It's almost like I've got this weird fresh start energy, like on every level. Home and compass. Compass is knowing who you truly are, finding your authentic self, being the best version of yourself that you can be. And like I understand that everybody is walking a different path, and not everybody's here to do the same thing. But if you're in my collective, you genuinely believe in simply trying to do the right thing. And if you don't, then, you know, spoiler alert, you're probably not supposed to be here. Like, we have unexpected visitors with this is a surprise, and follow the leader. You can transmute energy. Go towards being the best version of yourself, and you start changing the world. All right, let's keep going here. I'm going to get your romance angel. And I think I will get you some wellness cards as well. What's coming up for pile number 2? What's coming up for pile number 2, please? Here we go. Guys, I'm so sorry I can't ever interact in chat. Let's hope that it's not the weirdo porn people. Every time I put up a video, I have to like circle back 10 minutes later to take the porn links off. And it's like, how are you making that connection? That's bizarre. Finances and career. Last group got this as well. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. Remember, when you're healing from codependence, since one of the cures for codependence is independence, being able to be self-supporting is a very important part of having good and strong relationships with others, because you're not in relationships for reasons of safety. All right, this I do not believe. Oh, Lord, there's so much here. Okay, we have express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. That is not just about romance. That is about interacting with all with as much love as you can find. We have the love yourself first. Is your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Make sure that anyone who's trying to enter your life, that you are really, don't be circumspect. Understand that things can take more time than you want them to, but there will always be other things to hold your attention. Don't jump the gun on a relationship, ignoring a red flag because it might be something that you wanted. Make sure that you continue on your healing path and you will remain healed. And that's the whole goal of that. It's not about denying you what you want. It's making sure that you don't, because people can backslide, and it's not terminal, it's just limiting, and you want to have the best and most expansive life that you can. Again, it genuinely, I almost feel like I don't even have to say all this. Like, if you've been hanging in there, you've been trying to do, heartbroken. We had the 3 of Swords too. It's like somebody who hurt you is coming back. Deeply hurt, sad, separation, breakup, feeling lost, grieving, and mourning. I did not have a with Cupid's arrow. Have faith, love is coming. Surprise, invitation, or meeting, hesitation. Like, there is a test around this, so there's like, and of course, everyone's individual experience is going to color what this circumstance means. But my goodness, it's like a echo, echo, echo. We get it, we hear you. Be careful with your choices. It doesn't mean you won't get what you want. It's just a little bit of test around Don't think, hooray, I've arrived, because there might be a chance if there are still red flags. That's all. Kisses, unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, falling in love. The Phoenix, new phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, and changed mind. I have this, there's a strange energy there. And again, I would love it if but we don't get cheat sheets. There's something around your growth that is trying to come to you. Okay, it's time for your angel answers card and your cookie card. I'm ever so slightly, here we go. Oh, listen to your intuition. They're not gonna, you need to tap in to understand your own guidance system. I love being a guide for people, but my goal in helping people heal is that they need me less and less, and they trust themselves more and more, because when you are healed, that's the guidance. And you have to check in sometimes. Well, you don't have to, but you still can. You don't have to be completely self-sufficient. I never need another support system, but rather you will need less and less guidance the more and more healed that you are. And then I have declutter. That's about letting go of things that no longer serve you. And it is something about past pain. Like, you might be using past pain to protect yourself. And we don't think of it that way. But sometimes we're holding on to things because it keeps us from experiencing new things that might cause pain as well. And that's a stage in healing as well. Part of the release and letting go is accepting that it's like, could I ever get hurt again? Sure. Do I believe that I could heal? Yes, indeed. I have not been putting out the tabletops. I've been putting out the little numbers. Oh, well, sorry about that, guys. Where's the other one? I have it now. I beg your pardon. That was number 2. I will put the timestamps in later. Here's number 3. We're moving on to pile number 3. I'm going to be saying this at the top of every pile. There's a message at the beginning of this. If you feel that you are part of a healing collective, it has something about your purpose. It has a couple of other things, a channel announcement, and a request from help from me about transmuting some energy that has been trying to come for me. And I've been discovering the piles might be coming for everybody else. If you don't feel called to circle back to it, no. But if you do, please go check it out. Let's get going here. Remember, we've got the angel answer card and the cookie card. Premise behind this is, if you have a question that I did not answer in the course of this reading, hopefully this will give you guidance. I have release control. We don't think of it this way, but controlling is a form of trauma response. Needing to know what will happen, needing to control the outcome of things is the same thing as not really trusting yourself to handle things as they come to you. Release the need to control. If something comes to you in a very surprising fashion, don't be like, that's not what I want. Figure out why it's coming to you and what it might do in a different form. And again, releasing the need to control is also about, don't try and find out too many specifics about the future. Trust in your ability to handle them. You can get good, broad ideas. And again, I'm a tarot card. We don't want to be out of business or something, but you don't need to know as much as you need to know when you're healed. You think you need to have all these answers, what's coming up, so you can prepare. The real preparation lies in being healed enough to believe I can handle what's coming. And you can still take a look. You can still judge. You want to tune into your intuition anyway. I'm just saying, you don't need to control the outcomes of things to have everything that you want, or to be safe, or to continue to have a happy life, or to meet the challenges. You just need to have faith in you. Co-create. You're in co-creation with the universe. That is another thing about surrender your need to control, and the divine is trying to bring you the life that's meant for you. And if you think, but no, because I did not get this thing that I wanted, please accept that it may be because your journey doesn't contain that yet or at all. And don't be angry about that. But rather, when I lean into the idea that the divine is on my side, even if I've had challenges, because like a challenge-free life is not a life where we evolve spiritually. Lean into the idea that there were lessons in all of the challenges that were brought to you. And if you say, but they hurt me way, way, way too much, I will swear to you, judging simply by my own adult life, yeah, a lot of it hurt. I was not the best at making good choices. Candidly, really no. I chose the wrong people. I stayed with the wrong people. I fought against like healing at different points. I reached a really funny stage where I processed all my anger. And because I was like, I didn't like who I was when I was an angry person after like, what all that happened to me. I wouldn't allow myself to ever get angry, forgetting that like a spark of anger is one of the things that tells you it's time to set a boundary. And so looking at all of those things, was the universe trying to co-create something with me? Yes. Did I make my journey much harder? Yes, but it is because I'm a very, very willful person. Willful can be turned into power, willpower. Power and manifestation go hand in hand. But if you're trying to rigidly control what manifests, it limits things. Work in co-creation with the universe. And then I have the never-ending story. Something's not done here, and I'm kind of not getting it. I have attachment, accumulation, defensiveness, scarcity. And that can be, that's the control thing. It's such a fear-based energy. When fear is the opposite energy of love. Some people think it's hatred. It's not, it's fear. The need to control is fear-based. Release it and you will live in the energy of love. And your scarcity will also go away. Crown of Games, right use of power. I swear I just went into that so in depth that I'm not even going to keep talking. Go outside. It's time to go outside. Tune into the powerful peace of nature, wherever you are, and feel at one with your habitat. Trees help you so much. Healers and trees and nature and all of that, it's because dark energy and painful energy and traumatic energy is grounded out by the element of earth. All things growing and all bodies of water, they're all connected to the elements. That's why nature is so important. Now, if you are like, I cannot stand to be outside, I have wicked allergies, I burn like a crisp, whatever it might be, remember, you can watch things. It's better to be outside if you can, but if you can't, try to watch things while you're meditating, put on nature sounds. There's a lot of ways to access the energy of nature without going hiking through the woods. Like I'd love to go hiking around in the woods, but realistically, I'm a 5'3.5" woman. Unless I'm carrying a bazooka, it's not the best idea in most areas of the world to go out there by myself. All right, I have focus. This card almost like I had a different focus card for the other group. Go outside and focus, right use of power. It's also like messages come to you when you're outside. If you've been having trouble getting guidance while you're meditating, remember focusing on nature when you're outside, allowing yourself to tune in to all things that are growing and flourishing, because growth is, that's what we're trying to do when we're healing. We're trying to grow and evolve. Nature is always growing. Express your feelings. Listening. What's going on here? Relationships. Group number 3 did this to me last month too. By the way, if you watched group number 3 last month, the loss was related to somebody I actually know, who's a friend, and I work with in some capacities as well. I'm just mentioning that because if you saw that and you're freaked out going, who's gonna, it already happened. I knew it was hyper specific to a person. I was fairly certain it was going to be that person, and indeed it was. And it was not a tragedy. Teacher, light attribute, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. The shadow attribute is manipulating or abusing students, teaching negative traits and destructive skills. Many of you are leaders and guides in your own right. And it doesn't have to be in an esoteric practice. It is often within your profession. It is often that you're innovators, that you're free thinkers. And take the lessons that resonate with you and then go forward, understanding that your knowledge base may expand into something different. I have companion. Light attributes, loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. With the shadow attributes, betrayal by misusing confidences, loss of personal identity. I don't get the shadow attribute on either of these at all. Focus, attachment, something is not working out in the way that you had hoped it would, and not like in a bad way, in a different way. And that's the need to release control. They're never going to cure my allergies. So like, I'm going to quit apologizing for them, but I have allergies. You're going to get more information. Something is surprising and strange is basically what I'm picking up. Like it's something that you're not envisioning. And you're going to be required to expand your understanding of something in order to incorporate it into your lesson plan. And who are you again listening with Go Outside? Most of us are attached, most of the people in this collective are a form of divine conduit. And all of the elements have conduity attached to it. Most healers are attached to Raphael. I'm attached to Gabriel. Gabriel, who's just like very cut dried, like, here's this information. So that's my ruling element is air. The ruling element for most healers is water. But there's also a lot to be understood from earth, which is how to overcome our own darkness, how to release trauma, how to find our security. The earth energy is about health and security. And you're getting a lot of like, go outside and listen. And if you're like, but all I hear is birds and streams, there's something more to it than that. You might not, it's not always conscious. It's not always seeing visions. Every time that you are trying to connect, having followed guidance, there's a reason. And if you're expecting like the sky to open up and like, oh, look, a plane just went by and there's the message, it doesn't quite work like that. It can come to you over the course of days. It can come to you 3 weeks later. It can come to you in your sleep. Something happens every single time that you are following the guidance of please go do this. Even if it's like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not a scuba diver. Why are you telling me to go scuba dive? There's always some reason that we are told to go and do something. So kind of trust it, like go sit by a tree for a while. Apparently there's a reason for that. And it has to do with helping ground you as something that knocks you a little sideways. In terms of like, well, that's out of left field. Where'd that come from? The element of earth can help you with that. All right, I have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. In fact, that is an anxiety card. And one of the things that helps with anxiety is grounding. And also releasing the need to control. The whole reason I'm always on and on about patience and peace, it's also the cure for anxiety. Anxiety is a fear that we cannot meet the challenges ahead, that we need to know what's coming up so that we can be safe. If you can start healing with the concept of like, well, I'm examining my track record and like how far I'm sitting here. So how far wrong have things gone? If you're still in one piece and still capable of love and all sorts of things, you're whole enough to continue and to expand and to grow and have more. Maybe trust that it wasn't your fear and your racing mind that brought the answers to you. That was just kind of the thing you were assigning it to. And the answers always would have been there. Most of the people I meet are such incredible problem solvers, but they think they do it through worry, and they're not. The answers were going to come anyway. I have the moon in the upright. Okay, something concealed. In fact, they're not going to tell me what the heck it is, with strength in the upright. Overcoming. We have the Hierophant in reverse. Something non-traditional. I have the Ace of Pentacles in the upright. There's a weird development showing up here. That is the start of something new and successful. I love that. It's one of the offerings from the Gods cards. It's very much about physical security as well. With the Page of Swords, some kind of message about it. Pages are about something new beginning. It can be about writing. It can be about research. I have it with the Ten of Swords in reverse. Okay, not my favorite energy. Can be about trauma. It is one of the cards that stands for firsts for me. But the Seven of Coins in the upright. The Seven of Pentacles in the upright is a failure. Sometimes is also a trust the process energy. It really is like a development, does not take the form that you think it's going to. And there's a decluttering energy with this. There always is a decluttering energy with the Seven of Pentacles because it's about kind of sorting through things. I have the Three of Wands in reverse. It really can be an opportunity landing. King of Cups in the upright. Judgment in the upright. The King of Cups for me is one of the cards for the divine. The Judgment card is the Archangel Gabriel card, but it's also emotional fulfillment, life's purpose, things being made clear, the light going on in the darkness. It can also be about being judged. Nothing here supports that. Six of Cups in the upright. Interesting. With the Six of Wands in reverse. Five of Pentacles in the upright. I have the Empress in reverse. What's going on? Okay. Let's see. Huh. This is the in-between tarot. I have the Queen of Swords in reverse. I have the Seven of Wands in the upright. I have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. I have the Six of Swords in the upright. Ooh. Justice in the upright, which is good. The Star in the upright. With the Tower in reverse. Something's being restored to the energy that is meant to, because the Seven of Pentacles is actually the seed card as well. It's the farmer's card. It is the process card. It's one of the cards for, like I said, it's the farmer's card. You've got the nature card as well. Somebody who's knocked things out of balance is like it's you're watching something. You're watching something happen. It's very confusing for you. It's taking such a strange form. Oh, you're not responsible. You are not responsible. You're not responsible. Okay. Something's going to happen and you're not responsible for it, and you might feel like you are, but you're not. Is it a bad thing? Not for you. This is an intriguing one again. Let's go ahead and get Teacher's Deck involved here. I'm always plugging it because I've like just grown to love it. Link to it in the description box down below. I don't get anything if you order it. It's been a very useful tool. And if you do any type of magic, it's very helpful. Wow. Emperor status. You paid the cost to be the boss. You didn't do what you think you did. Something's going to happen and you're going to be like, oh my God, did I do that? No, you did not. Signs. The Oracle of the World is trying to tell you something. You've been trying to change something and it comes in such a radical and strange form. And you are going to try and take responsibility for it and you didn't do it. And I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means. Speak up more. A closed mouth doesn't get fed. Speaking your truth, standing up for yourself, trusting in your guidance, trusting in your inner system will help as well. It's like you're very, very powerful and you started to understand that. And like I said, there is something weird here. And it has a very, something is set to rights. Something is set to rights. And you're very concerned that you're very concerned that you did something that will negatively impact your karma. You absolutely did not. You absolutely did not. Something was being set to right before you interacted with something else. They always heard you. Pile number 3, you're fascinating to me. Here we go. Let's go for the Infinity Oracle. What do we got for pile number 3? 1 and 2 and 3. Focus. All right, focus. Spiritual awakening, celebration, mirroring, isolation, codependent, closure. I think I understand what this is. Don't take responsibility for something you didn't do. Even if you participated in shifting some energy, everybody's choices are their own. You are very prone to self-blame. You're very prone to self-blame, and you're not supposed to be blaming yourself on this one. I don't think I've gotten from the Endora deck. Okay, let's go. This is like a mystery. Like, this is genuinely a mystery. And why don't we get as much information as we want sometimes? Because we have to, we don't get a cheat sheet on absolutely everything. We're not supposed to. The whole life is about learning lessons and evolving and growing, and we can't know everything beforehand. But if you kind of got an inkling right now, you're right. That's just kind of what's coming through. All right, triumph over adversity. This is the triumph over adversity card as well tonight. The hourglass, time is of the essence. Fire, reckless actions lead to conflict. This could be the greater world energy. There is not extreme conflict, but it's been this weird, like repeating energy. I've been picking it all the way back in November, and like a bunch of readers have, and we've all been kind of braced. And it's like, well, it's been long enough. Maybe it's not going to happen. I think it kind of is, but I don't think it's a terrible thing. I have the king, authority and diplomacy. The king of cups is a diplomat as well, because he's got great emotional balance. Every now and then he can be in the upright, even for me, because in the reverse, I don't like the king of cups in reverse, and everybody has a different, when you've been reading for a while, you will develop your own relationship to your cards. Don't always go by a book. This is an intuitive and an empathic gift. So the king of cups in reverse for me is more likely to be somebody who misuses emotions, somebody who's an emotional manipulator, a narcissist, is like how it usually comes through for me. That's the king of cups in the upright, and that is somebody who has good emotional control. And that's the diplomatic energy. It's not the king of swords for me, it's the king of cups. Here we go. Let's go 1 and 2. And that's like receiving a gift. That's 6 of pentacles in reverse. Sometimes it's taxes, but there's nothing at all here that suggests that. My critic. Oh, like I said, you have a tendency to blame yourself. It's not your fault. I am my own critic, though this is not innately a bad thing. I will strive to be kinder to myself and graciously accept my own constructive feedback. This will allow continued growth in all aspects of my life. Circle of life. Unexpected growth. Boundaries. Fruition. Something's coming to fruition. Like I said, I have this weird thing where it feels like you're going to be like, oh, did I do that? You didn't do that. You didn't do that. It was, even if it's something to write for you, you didn't do it. Remember that part. And like because you really like, it's something that might be a little bit like, what the heck? You didn't do it. Was it done for you? No, it was the other person's choices. We got 1 and 2. All right. Love surrounds all your connections. Move forward positively in all areas of your life. And it really is like there is something that is going to allow you to take a new view on something. Judgment, soul searching will bring inner peace to many areas of your life. There's a little bit like, I keep coming to this, there's this weird self-judgment energy. Look deep within your heart, and you are not the person who wishes to harm others. Okay? Yeah. All right, let's keep going here. We already got you. We're going to get the messages of love. Get going. Messages of love. Hi guys, I'm so sorry I never can interact with chatters. I see this pleasant blur over there. Like, hello. I see they're like moons. Hello. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3. I'm gonna be cracking up when I see this footage, because like for the first pile, I was like I said, the human gland. It was just like, oh my God, why is it so warm in here? It has since cooled down, but I'm sure I'm like absolutely glowing. Obstacles, unhealed wounds are blocking forward movement. Fate. This is a destined partnership. Self-care. Clear your energy field and focus on yourself before acting. It really is like this weird, like it's like an obstacle falls and you're like, I did not mean to do that. You did not do it. Release. Radical acceptance and surrender can help you let go. Friendship. This friendship is leading to more. Friends are absolutely wonderful. Don't discount the love of friends. You like, and remember, friendships are supposed to be fun. They're based on shared interests. And like when you're codependent, sometimes you have these relationships where everybody brings you their problems and like they ask how you are and you answer in 2 sentences and that's it. Oh, I'm fine. And that's it. And that's not a friendship. And it's not that there's no value to it, but remember, a real friendship has give and take. Sometimes it has conflict, it has fun, it has shared interests. Friendships are to enhance our life. If you've been struggling a little bit with friends as you heal, it may be that you've not had the most satisfying friendships in the past. There are some friendships you retain and some friendships that you release as you heal. Allow new friendships to come to you, and do not think it is a lesser form of connection. It really adds just tremendous amounts. Let's go here with the romance angels. I am almost afraid. Here we go. Romance angels, what's coming up? Fate and friendship and obstacles being removed. It really is. It's like you feel like you blew up a bridge and you did not. You really did not. There we go. 1 and 2 and 3. Being an agent of fate does not mean you determine fate. It means that you act in the service of others. Okay? Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment, heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. That 6 of Cups energy too is up there. That can be nostalgia and kindness and this playfulness that goes from childhood. You might have a friend from childhood or something returning. And there's this weird reason that they're returning. Let's get your wellness cards and then we will move on to the, okay. Hammer, sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, working on it. Rebuilding and interrogation. 1, interrogation. 1 and 2 with judgment. Don't know. Girl with a snake, empath and narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used, enable and boundaries. Oh, it's like you're stopping the pattern around toxic and negative relationships. Allow yourself to move on though. Remember, if you feel like I feel like I might be going towards a codependent space with something, then you just kind of like, check in with self and take a few steps back. It's not, and it might happen. If you've always had codependent relationships, when you begin a new one, you might be like, I feel this codependency, I must flee for the hills. If you need me, I'll be herding goats on a mountaintop. You do not need to do that. Just be like, I feel that this is becoming compulsive and I really want to get way too much information about it. I'm trying to control the outcomes. And then instead, remind yourself, I'm not going to do that. I don't need to do that. Just check in with like your healing list. Stabbed in the back. Heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attack. Mirror, mirroring each other, self-image, relationships reflect our wounds, introspection. And I like you. Someone likes you, romance is blooming, fun, flirting, and want to date with passion. Like you take too much responsibility. It's like something happens to an enemy. Something happens to an enemy. You're not responsible for it. I don't think it has anything to do with what I was talking about at the beginning of this. I really, really don't. I don't think that's anything to do with me. You did not do it. You did not do it. That person brought it about. Okay. All right. I have perfect timing. Goody. And then I have burnout. Be careful with your health. Don't work too hard. Keep things in balance. That burnout energy is also like overcommitting energy to something. And I do have this like something almost makes you think that you are not standing on the ground that you think you are. You are. It's okay to be like, something's very, I don't want to say shocking, because it doesn't have that kind of bad energy around it. But something really takes you off guard. Something really takes you off guard. And your impulse is to be like, oh my God, what to do? You didn't do what you think you did. And you can talk, it's like a test of how to untrigger yourself. Like you've gained that ability and you kind of don't think of it that way, but you have. Like that's the ground that you stand on, is that you have healed enough that now you have a lot of focus around, I'm experiencing a feeling. Don't feel your feelings, understand, fear your feelings, understand that you can moderate them in a way you never did before. Right, we're moving on to file number 4. I'm going to say it yet again. Hey, if you're just joining me, there's a message at the beginning of this reading. You can circle back to it if you feel called to. If you don't. But it has information about something about this channel, something I'm asking for some energetic help on, and then information about what your life's purpose is likely to be if you are in this collective. It has to do with what a crossroads guide is. And I will just not go back into that because, like I said, it's at the top of the reading. Timestamps will be edited in directly after the broadcast. Here's my tabletop, group number 4. Didn't put them out for the first 2. Sorry, guys. Somehow, clearly I struggle with remembering that part. Tree wisdom, lots and lots about nature again. We have tree wisdom. The tree dryad will help you navigate through your current situation. Her flute can reveal insights and answers through the sound it makes. If you suffer from anxiety and the world is making you freak out, get as close to parks, trees, and the ground as you possibly can. It does so much. It's one of the most literal forms of grounding. And the trees have an energy in it. There's actually a society in trees. It's very, very complicated, but you can look it up if you want to. We don't understand all forms of life. And they have something, they have an enduring quality that steadies and grounds people. Interact as much as you can with nature. I have boundaries. What's gonna happen now? Boundaries, okay. I have many masks, the authentic self. If somebody is asking you to do something that is not in alignment with who you are now, but used to be, something that you would have readily done, you have the right to say no to people. You just do. Accept struggles as lessons. I'm just a broken record with that. Listen, struggles are hard. And particularly if you've had a long path with them, it can be like, why am I being so afflicted? Maybe you're like taking a PhD level in this whole life lesson. Think of it that way. Maybe you have all of these opportunities to grow and believe in self. The more you overcome, the more you can truly believe in yourself. If you focus on the struggle, then you don't focus on the fact that you get through everything. If you're looking backwards at all your struggles, it means you got through it somehow. Focus on what you could have learned and done differently going forward. It's not anything about blame. It's actually about congratulating yourself. If you've had a really difficult path and you've gotten all to the way to the point where you're still trying to heal and you're still trying to go towards everything good and bright and expansive, recognize yourself as a powerful person. I have the moon. Okay, that's intuition, nature, natural forces. I have the angel answers card and a cookie card that we will get to that later. I have health. Don Juan, spotlight your positive, seductive qualities. The shadow attribute is using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. Lover, great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. The shadow attribute is obsessive passion that harms others, self-destructive devotion. If you have really suffered from codependency and just like it really had that kind of compulsive energy around it, the first time that you're trying to go towards a healthy relationship, if there's a little spark of it, remember you have the ability to snuff it out through the techniques that you've learned around healthy coping, about not overly focusing on it, on reminding yourself, I just met this person, I shouldn't be envisioning a whole lifetime with them. If you've been happy by yourself and somebody comes into your life and you have that slight resurgence, don't panic and be like, I have to go join a nunnery. Instead, decide, okay, I have to be very vigilant with my healing process. I have to take things slowly. If that's one of the things that, kind of comes with healing from codependency, is we're going to tiptoe towards the idea of a relationship and have, okay, we're going to stop here until I feel better type of things. And the right person goes along with that. I'm always telling my clients that don't hesitate to make connections. If you've managed to heal from that really difficult energy, you take it at the pace you need to. And the right person, the person who's really meant to be there, is cool with that. Or they might not be, but they become very cool with it when they understand, oh, that's what it would take to have you in my life. Well, you're worth that. We have desert passage. Trust there's a divine plan. Try to trust that there's a divine plan, even if you've been traveling the rockiest of roads. You are given more challenges the stronger you are. And like we've used that saying for a very long time, God never gives you more than you can handle. And people are like, could I be weaker? Because good Lord. That's not quite what it means. It isn't you got bombarded because you were strong. It is because you are an evolved soul. You are choosing an advanced lesson plan, essentially. Look for the lessons in your struggles. And that is not to say, like, believe it or not, there's a part of you that wants to appreciate you for everything that you've been through. That's the self-loving part that you've yet to really embrace. I've come to the edge, which is take a risk. My risk-averse, safety-seeking collective. Go the distance. Yeah, relationships can feel like a risk after you've really been through the ringer. Manifestation, prosperity, fortune, pure intentions. And you never have to have relationships you don't want to have. But make sure you're not having a relationship because I really love my life and it's not there. I don't need that. I don't feel it with this person. I wake up singing and dancing. I'm as happy as can be. Make sure that's your reason. Because if it's, I don't want to get shredded like I got put into a Cuisinart and somebody just hit pulse over and over and over again, that's fear-based. Trust your ability to be like, get that Cuisinart away from me the second you see it. Because you develop that. And again, the right people are understanding of like, well, okay, I get it. And most of the time, since like energy attracts like energy, they're in the same space. Let's get going for pile number 4. All right, here we go. 1 and 2. This is the before and after tarot, which I really genuinely enjoy. I really struggled to read it at first, and then I just quit worrying so much about whether it was the front image or the back image, and I just read it like I read every other tarot deck. And then it worked out really well for me. But I love the artwork. Can I get 1 and 2 and 3? Half the reason I have so many decks is the depictions tell me different things. I clearly have a slightly different relationship to my decks, where like I interact with different guides and different energies through different artwork and different decks. I have the Fool in the upright, brand new beginning, leap of faith, have faith in yourself as well. I have the 8 of Swords in the upright. I'm not laughing because it's funny, I'm laughing because I get it. The 8 of Swords in the upright. Your doubt keeps you from moving forward in multiple areas of your life because you struggled. Instead of focusing on I struggled, how about focusing on the fact I never gave up and I kept trying until I got stronger and stronger and believed more and more in self. And I came out with another card of fear, which is the 9 of Swords in the upright. That can be nightmares as well. 8 of Cups in the upright. This is going on a spiritual journey to find more, seeking more fulfillment. And the 7 of Wands in the upright, which is a card for struggle, is also a card of overcoming. It is also a card of a surprise and being taken unaware. 2 of Swords in the upright. It can be denial, it can be blocking out things, it can be living in a fear-based place so that limits your intuition. I have it with the Judgment card in the upright. That's the Archangel Gabriel's card. That is epiphanies and transformation. It is the light being shed into dark spaces. It is also the truth being revealed to you. Don't block out. It's the life's purpose card as well. It's the start of a new karmic cycle. Don't linger in an old cycle because you're like, this is where I feel safest. Believe that even if you have stumbled and had to pick yourself up, don't think of how many times you've stumbled. Think of how much less time it takes you to pick yourself up and dust yourself off. You become more resilient as you heal and you grow. And that is the point of the energy of like, it came at me from all directions and I always felt bombarded and it was like, I could never get anything done. And it feels like something's against me. There is something like, it's essentially almost like weight training. The more and more pressure sometimes is about building more and more strength because you have something that you need to do. When things become peaceful, and they sometimes do within a healing journey, and this is good enough, you want to cling to it because it doesn't, like, what I came from was hard. Go towards more connection, more expansion, more belief in self. Don't avoid struggles. Believe in your ability to overcome them. Have faith in you. The 5 of Cups in the upright. That can be focusing too much on the loss of the past, remembering that there are things remaining. It can be a card of grieving and loss. So I have the Two of Pentacles in reverse, which is a holding somebody's accountable type of energy. Two of Cups in reverse. Ace of Cups in the upright. I have the Moon in reverse. I have the Five of Wands in reverse. 5, 5. I've got fives qualifying each other, clarifying each other. With the Page of Wands in the upright. I beg your pardon, that's the Knight. The Six of Swords in the upright. Dang. Okay. I have the Ace of Wands in the upright, the Ace of Swords in reverse, new beginnings all over the dark place. And then I have the Death card in the upright. What I'm struggling with saying is that there appears to be endings and new beginnings. And are the endings literal? I don't think so. But like in terms of like people ending, but it really is like a book is definitively closed on something. The Page of Pentacles in the upright with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. And then I have the Three of Cups in the upright with the Knight of Swords in the upright. Connection is a big part of expansion. Listen, I'm always talking about what an introvert I am and how I'm practically recluse. And like realistically, there are people like I get on the phone with for 4 or 5 hours. And like most of my closest friends don't actually live locally because guess what? I'm a little weird and it takes like a specific set of interests for me to really vibe with somebody for any length of time. And that's not a judgment against anybody. We genuinely, we have things in common with people. I have people I'm very, very close to and who know me very, very well. I know that I need to be more comfortable with different forms of connection still having value. And I'm bringing that up because, like I said, when I use myself as an example, nobody else gets in any type of trouble. It's that type of thing. Examine your life for what you are limiting. You're not here to live a limited experience. And I'm always begging people to hear this part, and I may have said the exact same thing in the 4 group, because this is the mental energy where you talk yourself out of things a lot. It's the element of air. You cannot find safety in this world because this world is not a safe place. And that is not to say you're always in danger. Just kind of release the idea that you have found a form of safety. Sameness is not safety. Routine is not safety. Exclusion is not safety. It is isolation. If something is trying to expand your world, if people are urging you to expand your world or to get out there or to make new friends or to join classes or interest groups or to be more expansive, it's not the universe telling you, we don't like you. They're not saying you have to change who you are. Examine if you are who you are because you are seeking safety, or if you are who you are because you are blissfully happy. And I mean like happy. I don't mean anything else. I don't even envision anything else. I get up so happy, I sing songs, I dance in the shower. If it's that level of that's why I'm very happy in my singular energy, then that is one thing. But realistically, human beings are social creatures. And it doesn't mean that an introvert has to become an extrovert or that the divine is saying, you're an introvert, you must change who you are. But the divine is saying, it is super hard to bring you everything you truly deserve when you have a list of 6 things you will accept. So try to be more expansive in what you would allow to come to you and try to go towards expansive energy, because even if you're happy right now, what if you can be happier? Let's go for the energy cards. Because I have Lover and Don Juan. I think you've been used in the past. And so you're like, no, thank you. Thank you, but no, I'm bad at this. I will not do that again. And you don't have to do it in any capacity that you don't wish to. But this energy haunts group number 4. You have a lot coming up and your doubts are going to cause you to not progress, particularly in a work capacity. There's a new beginning in something. It's taking this, like, if there's something like expansive around this Judgment card. And the 5 of Cups, like, don't focus on what didn't work out. Even if you tried your butt off, maybe you were learning a lesson. remember, like I'm always saying, our idea of success is this tiny little limited thing. It has to look like this for me to be successful. What if something that didn't work out made you grow, made you confident, made you resilient, made you better at something that you were doing? What if there was a lesson in something that you have been looking at as like a mistake, a failure, like, well, I wasn't any good at that? What if it's the thing that is actually making you a master of something? Try to change your perspective. Try to change your perspective on the things that did not work out. And that's in all areas of life. All right, let's keep going here. What is this? The authentic self. The authentic self is when we resolve our shadow side as being formed in trauma and understanding that our view of self is based greatly around self-protection. And if we want to, and it's not about being a risk taker, you don't have to go jump out of airplanes and all kinds of things in order to take risks, but allow variation and change. And I'm a Taurus. My gosh, is there anything that we love better than a comfy bed? At least that's my most typical Taurus trait. And that does not mean I have to go sleep on rocks in order to have an adventure, but I need to be willing to, like, well, maybe I'll spend 3 nights away from not having a comfy bed so that I have a greater adventure in life. Don't cling to the things that make you feel secure, because they may be limiting you. 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron, door to value. There's something coming up with work, guys. Indecision, crossroads. Man holding a coin, hostilities, storm warning, carrying connections, Archangel Michael. Well, all right, there's a challenge and a weirdness. All right. Let me see if I can get this. It's got this hand of God energy around it. I don't know what it means. There's no tower. There's a storm warning, but that's clearing something out of the path. It's definitely in business, and it's about expansion. And it's like an era ending. And it's not bad. And it's not, you're not going to be fired or anything. You don't need to be freaking out. In fact, it's actually very, very good. But because it challenges you to have a completely different view on something, go towards change. Change is the way things get better. And it will be transformative towards you. And there is this weird freaking energy around the Archangel Michael. I love the Archangel Michael. I like, one of the meditations I do involves the Archangel Michael. And do I practice the Christian religion? No, I do not. But religions are man-made structures around the articles of real faith. And some of the things in it are real energies that they put names to. And so the Archangel Michael is the energy that can defeat evil. And that's like what I've got here. Like I said, it's like this hand of God thing. I don't know what it means. Like I wish I could be a little bit more specific. There is no reason for you to be afraid. This is a transformation energy. An action brings something very, very definitively to the end. It is in the greater world. It appears to impact your personal world as well. Let's get going with your enchanted map. If I'm freaking you out, please don't be. This is overall one of the most positive energies, but it's like this kind of busting through something. I'm pretty old, so I remember the Kool-Aid ads where it would come busting through the wall. And it's like, well, the wall's toast, but that's kind of cool. And it's like that. That's what it's like. Where it's like, don't focus on the holy moly, what was that? Focus on the, oh, look, now a pathway has been cleared. Let's go. Enchanted map. And it's very much a very It's going to be different for everybody. It's going to be different for everybody. Is it in the greater world overall as well? New beginnings, new beginnings, new beginnings. I don't believe so. I just don't. I have compass, strength, lots and lots of strength. Basically, this is saying that by the beginning of Leo season, it may feel like you're living in, like you've crossed into a different reality. Maybe you have. Moonlight, peaks of joy. It's not a bad thing. If you feel a little bit freaked out, maybe this is a test around trust. Because this is not a bad energy, but obviously there's something like, we're going to shake up this can of pop until it blows all over the place, but guess what? It's going to make the wall look pretty. There's like something weird with this thing that you're like, that was not what I requested. Waiter, can you take this back to the kitchen? There's something decidedly strange, but you're being asked to believe that the change that it is bringing is exactly what you need and actually what you asked for. It's just what you're asked for was a very limited view of you, and they're bringing you a much more expanded one. And as usual, we have the, like, we're going to just drone on and on about, please allow more people into your life, including potential relationships. And what am I going to do now after I freaked everybody out? Let's go for, did I ever get any of these? No, I didn't. I'm sorry. Did that freak me out a little bit? Yeah, it did. Let's go for the messages of love. Let's go for the Infinity Oracle first. The Infinity Oracle is all of the cards scuffed almost immediately. So bad choice on the card stock, but it's a really good deck for everybody else who reads. Here we go. 1 and 2. And the reason it's a bad choice is it's actually a fairly expensive deck. It's like $45, which is a lot for pieces of paper, but it's actually really good. Healthy boundaries. Self-worth. Like I said, if somebody's putting you on pressure on you to give them something or do something, or they have this weird expectation because in the past you've allowed something, you still have the right to say no. And that came out at the very top of this. Open up, open up. Twin flame, new perspective, abundance is near. I'm going to get some other cards. There's just like, how many times can I say, please be receptive to more relationships before I just sound like I'm stuck? There's something coming up in an unexpected capacity. And again, why are we being denied some information that we'd normally be given? Because part of being healed is trusting that you can handle whatever's coming up and trusting that whatever the divine is doing, they're not trying to hurt you. They're like, your guides are not trying to drive you off a bridge. We resist things so much because, you know, quite frequently, like I know at least for me, like half the things I think I wanted, which is like included living in the middle of a forest entirely by myself and never seeing another human being, is not actually good for me. And it's not because I don't like people. It's because like I was really badly bullied as a child. And so like I'm always like, okay, at least I used to be. Like it's almost impossible to bully me now because I just see what other people do as being about them. We have fate. This is a destined partnership. Vulnerability. You can be completely open with this person. Intuition. Warning, don't dismiss red flags here. And healing. Old wounds, childhood issues need revisiting. You will have, when you start letting more people in, you will have a hiccup, a resurgence of, I recognize this energy. You're different. Things will be different. Let's go for an endurance. If I'm doing this over and over again, it's because quite frankly, I clearly am a little bit rattled by something. Air, seek a union of wind and spirit. And it's nothing bad. It's just that when they won't give me the information either, it's like, what is anything ticking? And nothing's ticking. There we go. Okay, 1 and 2. All right. The gate. A barrier keeps you from your goal. Oh, your need for safety. your need for the perception of safety. You will be guided through darkness. Be meticulous and patient, which is the spider. We have the moon, the spider, and the sphinx. Choose your words carefully. You got a little bit of a challenge coming up, but there's guidance for you, and you're being asked to have faith in yourself. Did I get any of these? Nope, not yet. We're gonna get some of the affirmations cards. Here we go, 1 and 2 and 3. Interesting month of meeting the new version of yourself. I have slumber. When I drift off to sleep, my mind allows me to slip into a restful slumber. If dreams arise, they are pleasant and calming. This time allows my body and mind to reset so I can start my day with vigor. Money magnet. With the power of determination, I attract profitable opportunities. Money and I pull towards each other like clicking magnets. The universe acknowledges my dedication, and so the universe rewards me with fruitful bounty. And then finances. I can spend or save money how I see fit. I have worked hard to own what I have, and it is my choice and my choice alone how to use it. No one can take this freedom away from me. Slumber, money magnet, and finances. I don't think someone's dying and leaving you money, but like there's like I don't know what's going on. We really, when you are trying to become someone who's in touch with your intuition, the answers that you receive will contain fewer and fewer direct. Did I already get these? I don't think I did. Fewer and fewer direct details. So like there's, like I said, it's like an obstacle's being removed. And like I really do have the picture of the Kool-Aid guy busting through a wall in my head. And like, how does my clairvoyance talk to me? A little bit like that. Like I have these weird, like surreal things that are like, how are you going to interpret that? Oh, that's what this means. Like obstacle is being removed, and let it be fun and joyful rather than like, oh no, there went the wall. Pay attention to the red flags. 8 zillion times apparently, worth waiting for. I think you're going to embark on something. It's going to trigger you, and you're not going to trust your ability to untrigger yourself, and you totally have it. Breathe deep, have faith, collect yourself, and remind yourself, I am different. I did all of this work to be different. I do not need to fear a former version of myself. I am the version of myself I worked hard to make. Okay. All right. Like I said, let's get some wellness cards, and we'll get your angel answer card and your cookie card, and I'll go do some deep breathing exercises to calm whatever the heck is settled in this energy for me. It's not frightening, but like I'm not used to like having this like, it'll be surprising, it'll be challenging, you'll be fine. We're not going to get any more details than that. Keys on a ring, the sword and the rose, many options, decision, unconventional, string along one night stand, the sword and the rose, clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, and power. You fear how powerful you are sometimes, and you don't think of it that way. You think of yourself as being weak, but you're actually really super powerful. I have take a chance, risk, being strategic, options, not showing hand, and gambling. It's like I said, there's something happening. It's not what you envisioned. And your tendency to believe that you are still the person that, and there's nothing wrong with you. You were just damaged. Please quit being so hard on yourself for having been injured. Karmic relationship, fleeting triggers. Hello. Turmoil, resistant, lessons, letting go and loving you. You're terrified of being triggered because you think it means that you're still unhealed. What if the triggers are showing you how to take all the bullets out of the gun? Coffee cup, meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted in friendship. Photograph, missing you, making memories, nostalgia. I guess we're going to put that on the wait and see pile. And if you want to let me know in the comments next month, like it was this. It's also something different for different people. We're all walking our own paths. We have repeating energy signatures and collectives. I have a year from now, and that means something manifesting over the course of a year. Like all the weird disruptive changes that keep coming through in this weird energy, like everything will be in this beautiful, beautiful shape. It's rebuilding into something, but it's not destructive. Assert yourself, go for what you want. The time is right for soulmate connections. Birth of a child, also likely. Group number 4, apparently the connection that you resist and resist and resist is not going to tarry any longer, and take everything at the pace that you want. And if you are triggered and you feel like, because like people, I have a form of PTSD that's associated with war veterans. It's that bad, because like one of my first memories is watching my father trying to kill my mother, which is just kind of one of the deals. And like, I'm okay. But like, I definitely have a fear of like me being triggered can mean me being absolutely helpless, but it doesn't any longer, because I learned what all of that did to me, and I learned how to have a process around talking myself through what's going on, scaling it back, bringing it into the here and now, and being safe. Trust, no matter what is happening, that your process is there to support you. Yourself is there to support you. Your highest self is there to help you access all the tools that you have learned. Do not fear expansion. You are trying to be shown all that you have learned. All right, so that was the Spirit Guide Monthly, and it was quite the wild ride. For July, I will see you again in August, unless we're all living in the upside down that is also Disney World somehow, because that was a very weird energy at the end there. But again, thank you for joining me. Take care and be well. All right.